What do you think it would be like to fly business class on the world's best airline from the best airport in the entire world?
Not only does this place have a waterfall, movie theater, and an entire shopping mall, but it's also home to Singapore Airlines, where I want to find out just how good they actually are and if they really live up to the hype.
And on top of that, Singapore Airlines business class is known to be one of the very best in the world too. But now that I'm here at the airport, I think it's time to head inside to check in and grab our boarding pass. Hi there, how are you?
Good. Where are you heading to today?
Seoul, South Korea. E11?
Yeah.
Cool.
This one will be the Incheon to Fukuoka.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so the check-in process went super quick and it was also super easy. And the best part is I'm gonna be in seat 17A, which is one of the better ones. And normally after getting the boarding pass, I would head through security and go to the business class lounge, but first we need to check out something called the Jewel. And I'm not gonna tell you guys exactly what it is because I'm just gonna show you.
Located at the very center of the entire airport is a giant waterfall and indoor jungle where passengers are able to relax before their flight. Inside this massive area, you have things like a spa, stores to shop, an Apple store, tons of different places to buy food, and even an IMAX movie theater.
I'll be honest, this is definitely the craziest airport I have ever been to. Truly, I have never seen anything like this in my life. But now that we're all done here, it's time to head through security and check out the business class lounge. And then after that, it's finally gonna be time for the flight.
But security at this airport isn't like you would normally think, and soon enough, I was past the first part of it.
All right, well, security actually went by super quick, but now the one semi-strange thing about security here is there's 2 levels to it. So the first part is where they just check your passport, but they don't actually go through your bags yet. And this has only happened to me at one other airport before, and pretty much what happens is they'll check your bags before you actually board the plane. And because of that, I now have a ton of time to kill, so I think it's time to check out the business class lounge.
Now inside this airport, there are a few different lounges for the different classes on Singapore Air, but today I was going to be in the Silver Chris lounge. Making my way inside, they had AP clocks on the wall and an insane amount of space for seating, but how about the food and drinks? Well, for that, there was a wall of soda and beer, tons of different wines or spirits to choose from, along with ultra expensive coffee machines. Checking out the snacks, there were chicken nuggies, fries, wings, a bunch of cereals, and a rotating tower of dessert. On top of that, there were a ton of different exotic fruits, a bunch of hot dishes to choose from, so you already know I had to try a little bit of everything.
So overall, I was actually super impressed with that lounge. It was super nice, it was super modern, it was super clean. There was a ton of selection for food, and the best part about the food as well is that it wasn't just Asian food, it was also Western, which is always amazing. The staff were also super nice, which is awesome. And pretty much my only complaint is I wish there was a little bit more to do, but overall I'm still gonna have to give it a solid 9 out of 10. But anyways, there's now about 10 minutes left until my flight is actually supposed to be boarding, so I thought I'd take this time to tell you guys a little bit more about Singapore Airlines, just in case you've never heard of them before or have never flown on them.
Starting things off, Singapore Airlines is rated as a 4-star airline with tons of different awards, and when it comes to the customer reviews, you can see just how many 5-star ones there are compared to the 1-star. Jet said that he can't stop dreaming about flying on Singapore Air. Judy said that they had a nice flight with excellent service, and Janice said it was the best business class she has ever flown on. But being fair and looking at the small amount of haters, this user claims that Singapore Air isn't what they used to be. Ellie said they somehow failed to take them to their destination twice, and Yashfed said that they had the worst business class, but I guess we're about to find out.
So now obviously, since Singapore Airlines is the world's best airline, the reviews are gonna be really good. Now that we are done in the lounge, it's time to head to the gate, and now I have to go through security, and I've kind of left it to the last minute, so hopefully I don't end up missing this flight.
But lucky for me, since I was flying business, the staff helped me get to where I needed to be because my flight had already started boarding.
Time to see if I get through security without being double searched or not. Hi there.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
So after that amazing airport, the awesome lounge, it is finally time for the flight. Hi there.
May I take a look at your boarding pass, please?
Yes, you may.
Thank you very much.
But unlike most airlines, on this one, I actually got walked right to my seat from the flight attendant.
Oh my God. This is gonna be awesome.
For today's flight, I was gonna be in seat 17A, and as you can see, this thing looks absolutely insane.
Lots of champagne, I have orange juice. If you like something sparkling, I also have
Sure, I'll do the champagne.
champagne.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Ooh, this is really good.
But now make sure you stick around because throughout this flight, there's gonna be a ton of crazy things that you're gonna wanna see.
So some initial thoughts. Right off the bat, this seat is unfrickin' real. The butt cushion, backrest, and headrest are all super comfy. There is genuinely a ton of room and also a lot of privacy. On some airlines, the business classes actually don't have a lot of privacy, which kind of sucks, but on this one, you're in this like full cocoon, which is amazing. The only downside to the cocoon is that I don't have access to the window back here, but I do have full access to this one, which is totally okay. The leg room is great, everything is spacious. The screen for the entertainment system is also massive. So there is a ton that we are going to be exploring during this flight. I am super excited for this.
Looking under the foot cubby, I found a blanket and a pillow for the flight, and it's safe to say that there was a ton of legroom. Checking out the pad beside me, there were a bunch of buttons for the seat controls, but one of them turned all of the lights on or off around the seat, including the overhead. But if you were lazy like me, you could still just tap it yourself. Right beside my head was a mirror, in case I wanted to check myself out, a headphone jack for the TV, a coat hanger, and also a mini phone to control things.
God damn it. The hot towels are really hot. I'm definitely not complaining, it's refreshing, but like, they are very, very steamy. And they also smell like flowers.
Looking around the seat some more, inside the cubby beside me was a full-size power outlet with USB ports, along with the headphones for the entertainment system. Now let's say you were older and wanted to do some reading instead of watching TV. On the other side of me were various different reading lamps, but one thing that I didn't expect to find was a seatbelt like on a car.
I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the crossbody seatbelt, but it's still pretty interesting to see on a plane. Okay, so we do have a very, very slight issue. The pilot just came on the overhead and said the flight has been delayed by about 20 to 30 minutes. They're having some sort of an engine problem. Now, normally if I was in economy, I wouldn't be the happiest with the delay, but when you're in business class and the flight gets delayed, that just means you get to enjoy the experience even longer. So I think this is the first time in my life I'm actually happy that the flight has been delayed, because this seat is unreal.
But don't worry, once I'm in the air, I still need to show you the entertainment system and the various meal services, but thankfully after the 50-minute delay, we had started pushing back from the gate. For today's flight, I was gonna be flying roughly 6.5 hours from Singapore to Seoul, and after getting to the runway, it was time for takeoff. Now that I was in the air, the meal service would soon be starting, but before then, I decided to check out the entertainment system. Right off the bat, this screen was massive, and when it came to the movies, there were plenty to choose from, with hundreds of shows as well. Along with that, there was a tab for music, games, an in-flight map, and also the amenities. Starting things off, we had the Wi-Fi, which was complimentary, but there was also a physical amenity kit too. Along with the nice bag, inside there was hand lotion, lip chap, and facial mist. But after looking through that, I was served a pre-meal snack.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what this is, but it is really good. I think it's some sort of chicken satay. I'm probably horribly mispronouncing that, but it is super tasty. But soon it's going to be time for the main course.
So I think it's time we look through the menu for today's flight. For lunch, there was salad, grilled beef, Singapore-style roast chicken, and lamb cutlets. But for dessert, there was dinosaur cake or a cheese platter. For drinks, there was a bunch of different wines to choose from, tons of hard alcohols, and pretty much anything you could possibly think of.
Now, normally when you're in business class, there are two main ways that menus work. For the first one, the flight attendant will come over and they'll just ask what you want to eat, and the second one is something called a la carte. Generally, when that happens, you could order whatever you want, whenever you want, and there's no designated meal service. Now, normally on Singapore Airlines, and the last time that I flew on them, it was the first option where the flight attendants come around when you're on the ground, you tell them what you want to eat, and you're good to go. But this time, I actually did something different called Book the Cook. Pretty much the way that this works is up to 24 hours before your flight, you could book whatever main meal you want. Normally when you fly business class, depending on the routes you take, the menus will be slightly different. For example, flying from Singapore to Seoul will have a different menu from Singapore to New York. But when you do Book the Cook, you actually have the option from any menu to any destination. And on this flight in particular, the main course is a grilled beef fillet with veal juice, a Singapore-style roasted chicken with rice and oriental vegetables, and for the third choice you have herb-crusted lamb cutlets. And now if I'm being completely honest, I actually forget what I ordered last night. It was some sort of a meat that sounded really good that definitely wasn't on this menu, so we're gonna have to see what that's like. But I did notice them starting the meal service, so we're gonna find out what I ordered soon enough.
Taking out my tray table, it was pretty much the size of an entire table, but for an appetizer, I was given a chicken and veggie salad salad before getting the lamb for my main, and also the dino cake fruit combo for dessert, which was delicious.
Right off the bat, this seat is unreal. My back isn't sore whatsoever. This pillow right here, yeah, it is insanely comfortable. I don't know if it's some sort of like a memory foam, but it is really good. The last time I flew business class in Singapore Airlines, it was on the 777, and I think that seat is a little bit wider. You do have a little bit more space, but I think I actually prefer this one strictly because of how it's oriented and also the leg rest. This one is way more comfortable being straight and not on a 45 degree. The meal service on this flight was unreal. It was absolutely delicious. The in-flight entertainment is also top tier. There are so many movies and so many TV shows. Truly, there is no chance you can get bored on this flight, because even if you don't want to watch movies or shows, you have free Wi-Fi with business class, which is unreal. Another thing that I love about this seat are all the little details. For example, we got these reading lamps over here, we got the mirror on the side here in case you want to do your makeup or just look at yourself. But now there's still about 3.5 hours left in this flight, and a few other things we gotta check out, like the amenities kit. We gotta see the seat in different positions, potentially even a bed. I haven't decided if I'm actually gonna sleep yet, so let's get started with that right now.
Making my way to the bathroom, I wanted to see just how bougie it was going to be. Making my way inside, it was definitely nice, but nothing over the top. But I was happy to find that there was a variety of products, hot towels, and real flowers. Now that I was back at my seat, I decided to finally test out the different modes, like the standard seating position, but I also went and checked out the lay flat because it became a full-on bed.
Now by this point in the flight, I'm sure you're probably wondering, well, Eric, how much did you actually pay to be flying business class on the world's best airline? Well, let me explain. So I won't lie, a business class seat like this does not come cheap. It is actually pretty expensive. For this exact route in particular, when it's in the off season like I'm flying right now, it's about $2,700 American, which is a lot of money for a 6-hour flight. Now that is the cheap end of things, because I also found this very same flight for up to $6,000 American, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But now, did I actually pay that much money for this flight? No. In reality, I actually used 50,000 credit card points that I've been saving up, plus like $200. So if you convert the points to a dollar amount, it's about $700 US to fly this seat. And now that you know the price, you're probably wondering, well, is it worth it for that price? And well, the answer to that is a big fat yes. First of all, an economy class seat on this route would have been about $450 to $500 American. So right off the bat, this is only $250 more, assuming that you are using credit card points. On top of that, you are flying out of the best airport in the entire world, which is unreal. There's a shopping mall, there's the well thing, there's tons of activities. It is just unreal. The check-in process is super smooth. All of the staff are incredibly friendly. Before the flight itself, you get the business class lounge, which is awesome because it's free food, free alcohol, and it's really tasty. And then when you're on the plane itself, well, you get this awesome seat. You get this massive entertainment system with tons of movies and TV shows. And the food, well, that is also top tier. You know, I could totally understand why Singapore Airlines is the world's best airline and why their business class is also top 5 in the world, because this experience is truly unreal.
So now if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe and watch this one next.